guys, my name is Tiffany and welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I thought I would share with you guys some tips on what you should do while you're in nursing school. So first things first, obviously you guys are going to be busy studying and you're going to be wondering, where am I going to have all the time to do all this extra stuff? Please make time to do things. And what I mean by things, I mean like extracurriculars. So whether that means joining a club at your school or being a part of leadership in any kind of way. So for example, when I was at my university, I was president of our Nursing Students Association. So just being proactive, showing leadership in any kind of way, whether that's joining clubs, doing any volunteer work. So while I was doing that, I also volunteered in hospitals. So actually I volunteered at a local hospital in my community where I was a baby cuddler. So that got me a chance to be able to open myself to new doors and gain opportunities to work in the unit that I wanted to be in, even though obviously I'm not going in there as a nurse and doing nurse things. I still had a chance to view the environment and seize that opportunity to open doors for myself. So I went in there as a baby cuddler, got to work in that kind of environment. I also volunteered at another local hospital and I just did like gift shop stuff. So I'm not saying that you need to go into hospital and like do patient care or anything. Just doing any sort of volunteer service. It doesn't even have to be in a hospital. Just do it at your local community, in your food bank, or just helping others in some kind of way. Hospitals really like to see in interviews that you are proactive and that you are actively working in your community and doing anything else besides just studying. Because to be honest, we all go to nursing school and we're all students. So of course we're going to be studying, but what makes you stand out from the rest? What makes you different from other students? It's the types of activities you do beyond just school and studying. So I highly recommend doing this with a friend if it makes it easier for you, and that way you guys can do social interaction, but doing something that may be beneficial for all of you. And so whether that means volunteering or you can be working somewhere. So I know a lot of students are part-time workers, and that also counts as experience because you are doing customer service and you are, working with the community in some sort of way. So that does act as a type of community outreach. In a sense, it's a little bit different. You are gaining work experience, but it's a little bit harder when it's something regarding nursing. If you are lucky enough to be able to get a job as like a patient assistant, like a CNA or something like that, that is patient care, and that really helps you a lot in interviews, getting direct patient care and things like that. But not everyone gets that opportunity, so that's why I highly recommend doing volunteering or just joining a club at your school. It doesn't have to be nursing related. It just shows that you're doing something beyond studying. Leadership is so important when it comes to nursing interviews. Every nursing interview I went to always asked me about some type of leadership that I've done, or whether in my clinical experience I've shown any leadership or spoke up for my patient. So try to think of that and find any experiences in your daily life where you've shown some type of leadership. Those are really going to help you on interviews and make you stand out from the rest. I also recommend working directly with other professors or clinical instructors at your school. So gaining those connections is so important, because when it comes to the end of the year and you're graduating soon, you need to ask for references. So for me, I think the best thing was when I had a chance to work in my simulation lab. I worked directly with our simulation director, and so we were able to gain that connection, and I also gained a lot of learning experience from that as well. It helped me a lot in my practice, and the best thing I noticed that when it comes to working directly in that kind of environment, you also have a chance to teach others. And I also noticed that in interviews, they will ask you on times that you have helped or taught others in some kind of way. And I think the best experience is to be able to give back to your community and doing that by either working in a simulation lab if possible or tutoring. So I know there's chances of that. A lot of people in other schools that I've talked to, a side job that they did was doing tutoring, and that really helps because that's kind of teaching back the knowledge you've learned, and you also will, remember it so much better, and you're helping someone else too. So things that I noticed in interviews is leadership, teaching others, giving back to the community. Those are the main topics that a lot of interviews will focus on. So just coming up with examples for things like that. Going out of your way beyond just studying in school, doing something more proactive. So I know it's going to be hard to be able to balance all those things. Please make the time to do so. I'm not saying you need to push yourself to your limit and do a whole bunch of things and not focus on your studies, because of course that is important. You don't want to neglect your studies. But if you have free time, maybe just on the weekends, volunteer for an hour or two. That's what I did when I had free time. And if you join a club, usually that's only a few hours of your day. So there is time, make the time, use every useful aspect that your school gives for you. So take every opportunity you can. So whether that is giving back or learning something new. So if that means, applying to get a tutor or be a tutor, take those opportunities. So I made the most out of my experience at my university by doing all these extracurriculars. And when it came to application time, I noticed that a lot of interviewers were very surprised and pleased when I told them all my experiences during nursing school, all my leadership experience, all my volunteer experience, and all these things helped me so much when it came to my interviews. And I also believe that helped me a lot when it came to the application process, because they, of course, will look at your resume and see what other things you're doing beyond studying. So please take the opportunity to do something else. So I hope you guys learned something from this video and that this video was helpful. And so if you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye. 'Cause anywhere you feels right, anywhere you feels like Paris in the rain, Paris in the rain.